folks, welcome back. As you can see, we have made it to January. It is bitterly cold. There is snow everywhere. I don't think it's stopped snowing for 2 months, but we have stuff to do. It's time to make some money because judging by how long it took me to harvest that field of sunflowers last episode, we're going to need some bigger equipment if we plan to expand at all. And so with that, we got to make some money. So looking here, we are at our top price for straw, flour, alfalfa, and corn flour for January, as well as wheat and corn. So I think what we are going to do here is we're going to go ahead and sell off a couple of loads of straw and maybe 1 or 2 loads of alfalfa and see where that gets us. I have a plan for the flour. So I want to sell off some hay and some straw first to see where that gets us. So what we need to do now is chase this deer off of my property. Don't mind the animations. I wanted to put third person view so you guys could see me, my jacket, and my beanie hat here. Let me open the door here, find the right spot. Let me go ahead and turn that off. We are going to need this. And we are going to need this. Not the T21. We're going to go ahead and let that thing warm up. We're going to cheat to load the bales. I don't know if you guys caught it a couple episodes ago when I was moving the straw, but this trailer that I'm using has an auto load feature. I used the tractor, but all I have to do is get within the vicinity of the trailer and it automatically loads them for me. So that's what I did. Get that hooked up there. While we're at it, I'm going to go double check and make sure how the chickens are doing here. 100% healthy. They got plenty of food. We got some eggs on the ground. We're going to leave those for now. Let's go check on the sheep. We've got some wolves spawning out here. But that price doesn't go up until, I think, May. So, still 79 sheep. We got some babies. Let's go check them out. Yeah, there's one right there. Out here digging in the snow, trying to find some food. This one's running around trying to find his mama. But we got some babies. So we're going to start needing some more hay here in the future. Let me look. Let's see what we got here. So we have lamb, 11 female, 15 male, 11. So it looks like we got 22 females and 25 males. So we'll probably end up selling off the rams when they get a little bit older, but we'll keep the sheep. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go over here, and I'm gonna go to round bale straw. I have 48 of them. This trailer will hold 20. So you see there, we're gonna spawn 20 of them out of here. But what I should be able to do is go on here, and I'm gonna have to turn my menu on to make sure I get the buttons right. I'm going to put, it's in transporting position right now. I'm going to put this in operating position. And now all I should have to do is drive up here next to my pile. And they will start loading automatically. Got to get kind of close doing it this way so it's not the most realistic thing. But there we go. So we got 20. So now we're going to put it in operating position, and we are going to head off to the livestock dealer. See if we can get there without crashing. I'll show you guys the first load and then we'll come back after we're done with that. I think got a clear spot right there. I don't know what's causing that. Even the roads are pretty covered. So we just gotta drive safely here. Try to keep it around 35, I think. Careful going down these hills. Got some drifts here in the windbreaks. If I wanted to take the time to do it, there are some mods out there where I could actually collect the snow and store it and turn it into water. I could also just buy a snow plow or a snow blower. I just don't feel like doing that right now. But I do remember when this map first came out that the guy that made it said that the winters were going to be fun, and he wasn't lying. I don't know that it ever gets to negative 21 in Missouri on a regular basis. A high of 14 I can believe. A low of negative 14 in southern Missouri, I don't think so. But they do get some snow. So that's not far-fetched to believe. So we're going to get up here to the corner. We're going to turn and go through town. Looks like they got their roads somewhat clear here in the town, so that's helpful. I guess I could turn some lights on and be safe, right? My graphics card's not keeping up with all this snow. We got a little bit of glitching and hopping, but we'll deal with it. You know, maybe 10 years from now I can be a super YouTube star with a super fancy gaming computer and I won't have to have graphics issues. And we got train. Come on. Come on. Let me through. Alright, we're going to turn right here. Try to swing into the livestock dealer because that's where our bale sale point is. I think what I need to do now is swing into here. And I should just be able to back over the top of that icon right there. Let's see if this works. And then I hit unload bales, unload here. And then if I back up over the trigger, it'll slowly take them. It didn't take all of them. Must have missed the trigger there with the last couple. What is going on? Why won't it take the rest of these? I got another one there. Woo. Does it crash into their loading gate? Let's drive forward over this and see if it'll take the rest of these. No? No? There we go. Take the last one. Take it. You know you want it. Alright, so we're going to do that about 3 or 4 more times. Maybe I'll figure the exact science out. by the time I'm done. There we go. So now I hit stop unloading. And we're up to 80,000, so what is that? Around about maybe $10,000 or so. So all right, we're gonna head back to the farm and we're gonna get another load. And we'll come back in here once all the straw and alfalfa have been sold. All right, 4 loads of bales later, and we are at $110,000. But now it's time to spend some of that. We're gonna go right here, and we are going to buy the bakery for $60,000. So now we're down to $50,000. Now we're going to go into our production menu, and what we're going to do is we need butter to make cornbread. So we don't have butter yet. I could probably see about buying that in the future, but we have flour to make bread. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to go back to the farm and switch out vehicles and come back, and we're gonna move the flour over here to the bakery. And then since we're at top price for corn flour, we'll probably just go ahead and sell the corn flour since we don't have any butter yet. I could go into the store and see. Let me look quick. Let me go in the store menu and see if we can buy butter. We might be able to. Let's see. Can we buy pallets of butter? Bread, planks. We can. We can buy 1,000 pieces of butter for $1,600. So I think we're going to go ahead and spend. Let's get 4. Let's spend $6,400 and get 4 of those. All right, those will actually spawn back at the farm. So now we're down to $43,000. We're gonna drive back to the farm and switch out vehicles and head back to town in just a minute. I'm sorry, dude, I did not pull out in front of you. All right, here we go. Back to the farm. Alright, coming back into town now, we got the Allis Chalmers 200. We've actually put some pallet forks on the front of it. We got our 4 pallets of butter and a pallet and a half of eggs on the back. We're going to go on up here and pull in and drop these off at the bakery quick. And then after we've done that, we're going to go over to our mill and see if we're going to have to manually move the flour or if I can get the game to do it for us. So drive back down here, turn here in the back, and I should be able to just drive over this unload trigger. And there it goes. Taking the butter, taking the eggs. I realized after I put the eggs on here that I didn't need the eggs for what I was doing, but they were already on here. So now, let's go back up over here and open our production menu. With the eggs, yeah, I can make a cake, but I also need sugar, milk, and strawberries there. Eventually I can make pumpkin pie. So we're going to turn on cornbread and bread. So flour will come to bread, corn flour and butter will go to cornbread. But as you can see there, we have no flour or corn flour. So what we're going to do real quick, turn around here, cut across the grass. We own this property now, so we can do whatever we want. We're going to drive over here to the grain mill, where you're going to see all of my pallets of flour sitting on the ground. And what we're going to do is drop the trailer probably right about there. We're going to go over here quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go in here to the production menu for this one. And if I go down here, I can change the flour and the corn flour from spawning to distributing. So what I want to do now is go back up, and it does not look like it's automatically going to distribute everything that was already out. So now I'm going to have to manually move all these over. I was thinking about just putting them on the trailer, but I think with my pallet forks, I don't know if my forks are long enough to get 2 of these at a time or not. What's going on here? Am I too wide? Am I too... Oh, here we go. Let's try it this way. See if that'll go in there now. Let's see if that'll pick up 2 of them. Alright, I got 2 of them. I don't know whether or not they'll stay. Let's see if I can get these over to the snow's making it a little bit bumpy. I don't know if we're going to make it or not. Easy does it. Easy does it. Get off of this snow drift and onto the street. Go up here. Now I will set these down right here. And it's taken them already without even setting them on the ground. Alright. So now we have dropped off some flour. Let's jump back up here again. Let's go into our production menu. And we are now making bread, but it's still saying materials missing on the cornbread. So I'm going to have to manually move all of this flour over. So I'm going to do that off camera because it's going to take a little bit of time to do that. We'll be back after I get all of the flour moved. Alright, it is February now, and it is time to head back to town. Because, and this is the reason I was in such a rush to get the bakery going in January, because we have $10,000 worth of bread. Well, that price is still going up, it says. Originally, it told me that the top price for bread was in February. So let me go look again just to be sure. Let me find it. So it's going up. No, the top price was in December, so it's going back down. So we'll go ahead and go get that sold. But then if I look at the cornbread, the top price for cornbread is normally in April at $3.89, but we're currently at, and it shows a different price here. So we're currently near the max right now. So $26,000 of cornbread and $10,000 of bread that can go to the diner. So we're going to get those sold off. And the trailer is stuck on the basketball hoop. Did I swing out wide enough? No, I didn't. Learn how to drive, Andrew. Here we go. There we go. All right, we're gonna go. I left the 220 in town at the grain mill, knowing that we were gonna need it with this, and this trailer, for one, doesn't pull very good at higher speeds. It also doesn't pull very good in the snow. So we're gonna top our cruise out at 30. So that's about the limit of this trailer. You can see it's kind of fishtailing already at 32. Kind of rough for the snow. I'm gonna look at doing something about that as well. After we sell this bread, we're gonna see fishtailing already. If I'm gonna end up driving, if it's gonna end up snowing this much, normally it's been snowing pretty much nonstop since December. So if it's gonna snow this much on this map every year, then I'm gonna do something about that. Woo! Thank the Lord for safety chains. Too bad this isn't the 2000s where I have like trailer towing assist and now what am I hitting? Holy night. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a snowplow if all this stuff is gonna be happening in January and February and it's gonna snow like this every year. I'm gonna have to go ahead and get me a snowplow, but I think I have an idea for that. So we're gonna see how much money we get from this bread first and go from there. Even at 25. Alright. We'll get there eventually. I guess I could have just towed this thing back to the farm with the 220. It would have taken me just as long to get there and back. Or the 200. I think it's a 200. Alright. Get into town and get off this snow. Oh, even the roads in town have snow on them now. Somebody's been taking out the road signs. I don't know who that was. I had Elliot help me out a little bit on the last episode. I think he had some troubles on some of the corners. But yeah, even the roads in town have snow on them now. And you can tell they've been cleared at least once. Now we might as well just drive through town. It's quicker. I put the tag on the diner just to remember exactly where it was, but it looks like the drop-off point for the diner is right there in the alley. Looks like the diner and the pizzeria are kind of there. The pizzeria, so it's opposite. It's across the street, one block over. Okay. That's not too bad. Now there's a couple ways we can do this. So one of the mods I'm using on this game just to speed things off, normally the stuff I do off camera, but one of the mods I have is called liftable pallets and big bags. So what that does is some of the base game products, you can lift them by hand. So I should be able to get out here. The cornbread's probably going to tell me it's too heavy. Oh, butter cornbread. I was like, why does it say we made butter? So I can pick up the normal bread by hand, just like that. But I probably, and I showed you guys. I did some of it with the tractor, so I don't do it all like this. But cornbread. Nope. See the cornbread. It's gonna say object too heavy because it's not a base game product. It's a new product for this map, so it was made after that mod. It hasn't been edited to work with it. So we'll get this bread loaded and then we'll go grab the tractor quick to load some of this cornbread, or just take it across town ourselves. We'll see. It's right across the street, so I don't have to go super far with it. There we go. We got a lot of cornbread. You can see it's still spawning. So one of the things I could do, and I might do eventually, on the production menu, you can store, you can spawn, or you can sell. But what happens is if you set it to sell, then what it does is it automatically sells every month at the top price that's offered. I don't like doing that because you'll usually only get the top price once a year. So we're going to go ahead and take this bread over here and sell it off, and then we'll come back and get the cornbread. And then, let's see. I guess I didn't get that one inside the trigger. Let's see if we can here. Gotta turn the other way. Yeah, just do it the easy way. All right, so we're gonna get the cornbread sold off, and then we'll be back to finish this episode. About $10,000 there, not too bad. All right, we got all of the bread sold off, but you're probably looking at the top and wondering, why are we still at $46,000? And if we sold the bread, well, that's because as I was finishing up that transaction, I noticed something across the street at the dealership that I just couldn't say no to. So we are heading into town with the old 650 here, and we are trading it in. And you will see why in just a second when we get to the dealership. Dealership should be right here. There's our store trigger. And there is the reason why we're here. We're going to pull in here. Turn this thing off. Run inside real quick. The Super Duty 850 is about to be no more. We are the new proud owners of this 1975 F250 Ranger XLT, and it came with the snow blade. That's why it cost a little bit more than normal truck. But we already made that purchase. Now we're going to go in here. Oh, I guess I need to go to the other trigger. We're going to go right here. And we are going to go to sell this vehicle. Vehicle has been sold. So we got about $8,000 back for that. Now we're up to $54,000. The good thing, I went ahead and left the 200 in the trailer over here because cornbread is going to be top price again in April. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the new truck. We're going to drive over to the grain mill real quick. Make sure we don't need to bring any more corn to keep making corn flour, because as I just said, the top price for cornbread is in April. So we're going to keep, that's why I went ahead and sold off some, and then when April comes around we'll sell off more. But hopefully it stops snowing here in March because we need to get in the field. So we're going to line this up. We are going to drop the blade, and here we go. We are going to clear a path. Let's turn that a little bit more. There we go. It wants to pile it up in front instead of push it off to the side, but that's all right. So we're going to run in here real quick. Just make sure that we don't need any more corn. And then we're going to call it a wrap for this episode. And hopefully we'll be back in March or April with no snow, ready to, let's see, corn flour. Oh, we're out of corn. So we need to bring some corn in to keep making some corn flour, to keep making cornbread. So we'll do that, and then we'll be back in March, hopefully with some field work, getting back in the fields. As always, don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button. Reminder that I've been dropping my videos on Wednesdays, so you don't necessarily need to hit the notifications, but you can if you want to. But we're gonna head back to the farm now, and we'll see you next month.
I was hitting